Hello world, Geriatric Geek here. How in the heck are you? I hope you're doing great. It's a beautiful Sunday morning here in North Las Vegas. Hope you guys are doing good out there. Hope you're staying safe. Yeah, so hey, Dollar Tree haul number 2. I went to my all-time favorite Dollar Tree yesterday, and they had the movies out. Great, right? Wrong. They had all of them out. They were all on the floor. So I don't bend well anymore, but anyway, I spent about half an hour looking through every one of those things that they had stacked on the floor. They weren't even in boxes anymore. They're just stacked on the floor. I went through all of them, and not one Blu-ray. So I'm really disappointed in the distribution, let's say, of Blu-rays. Seems like back east got all the Blu-rays. I'm mad. No, I'm just kidding. But yeah, very disappointing. I did pick up some new to me MGM titles, and I'm sure my wife will enjoy most of those before I do, or even though I might watch them, but there's a good chance I won't. But anyway, so let's get into it. I want to share with you what I have picked up, and this is going to be the last one. I'm not going to search anymore for this round. Just cross our fingers. Maybe the next one will be a little better for the old fart here and with Blu-rays, right? I think I got one Blu-ray from not my all-time favorite Dollar Tree, but another the previous day, Friday. So yeah, this is Sunday. The let's see, what is the 28th of November 2021. So again, let's do this. First up, this is one I'm kind of happy to have. It has Katie Holmes in it, Patricia Clarkson, Derek Luke. Pieces of April. Pieces of April. That sounds something like it's not a horror. This is a comedy drama, from what I understand. It actually gets pretty good reviews. It's from 2003, 114 minutes, PG-13. Katie Holmes is terrific as the quirky black sheep of her family in this delightful comedy that sparkles with acerbic wit, original characters, and genuine heart. Rebellious daughter of April Burns has offered to host an elaborate holiday dinner for her suburban clan in her New York apartment, but her attempts to create an unforgettable feast go awry when she discovers her oven doesn't work. Now, as her weary family makes its way to the city, April must rely on the kindness of strangers to pull off the perfect meal and the perfect memory. Sounds interesting. I think my wife will enjoy this. So I'm going to say that a lot today, unfortunately. Yeah, I've got enough horror stuff, so it's okay. Now, this is another one of those MGM ones, and yeah, just picked it up for my wife, basically. Shadows and Fog, but you guys may enjoy these. I like, I'm a horror guy or a Star Wars person, or that kind of a person. Anyway, Shadows and Fog is PG-13, 1991, 85 minutes, black and white. It's a comedy. It gets really good reviews also. This is based on a play called Death. Based on a play called Death. Amazing enough, Madonna. Yes, you heard it right. Madonna's in this flick. Let's see. Recruited by an inept mob of vigilantes, Kleinman, who's played by Woody Allen, a cowardly clerk, is forced to search for a notorious murderer, only to stumble upon a feisty sword swallower, Ermi, who's played by Mia Farrow, running away from the circus, and her clownish boyfriend. Determined to help Ermi and eager to escape the vigilantes, Kleinman abandons his search for the killer, or so he thinks. Rushing headlong into the odious night, Kleinman and Ermi are launched into a mysterious world of shadows and fog, from which they may never emerge. Sounds interesting. Let me know down below if you guys have seen these, what you thought. Now, I picked this up. I couldn't find this. I actually got this from a fellow YouTuber previously, but I finally found it. And this is going to go to a friend of mine. So, John Candy's Canadian Bacon. That's right. Canadian Bacon is from 1995, 95 minutes, PG, and it's a comedy. Faced with sagging approval ratings and disgruntled arms manufacturers, the U.S. president decides to cook up a new Cold War with Canada, and after a flood of media propaganda, Americans waste no time in patriotically burning their ice skates and swearing off maple syrup. But when bumbling U.S. Sheriff Boomer, played by Candy, and his hair-triggered deputy Honey decide to take matters into their own hands and lead a preemptive strike, they soon find themselves embroiled in a hilarious international incident that's too close for comfort. I know everybody was catching this movie last round, but finally found it. I don't know why it showed up this time, but it did. Now we have an Academy Award winner, Robert Duvall, in A Night in Old Mexico. I believe I've seen this movie, and I remember liking it, so I didn't have it in my collection, thought I'd pick it up. And it's the lone Blu-ray in this whole haul. A Night in Old Mexico is not rated, from 2013, 104 minutes. It's an adventure drama. This is not Robert Duvall's best, as I recall, but I love watching this guy, so I'm glad to have it. Forced to give up his land and home, Texas rancher Red Bovee is not about to retire quietly in a trailer park. Instead, he jumps in his Cadillac and hits the road with his estranged grandson for one last wild adventure filled with guns, women, and booze. It's just another night in Old Mexico. I think I remember it. Yeah. It's based on a haunting true story. This one is. Indeed. Picked this up for my cousin who loves horror. So I have seen this one, and it's kind of creepy. It's not the best horror film in the world, but hey, for $1, and I've got her quite a stack now of stuff over here that I want to give her for Christmas. The Lighthouse. The Lighthouse is 2015, 103 minutes. It's a thriller, very atmospheric, and yeah, I think she'll like this one. So glad to find this one again. Two men are trapped in an isolated lighthouse surrounded by the deadly Irish Sea. Cut off from the outside world, a dangerous freak storm rages for months, and getting help seems impossible. With rapidly dwindling food and water, the men gradually spiral into a desperate and aggressive cabin fever. Locked away from the fierce storm in tiny living quarters, the men spend their time drinking and fighting, with both men's minds pushed to their limits. If you haven't seen this one, check it out. It's pretty creepy. It's not great, but it's pretty, it's good for a one-time watch. Next up, I've seen other folks get this. I didn't have it, so I thought, what the heck, I'll pick it up. It's probably not very good. Called Monolith. This is from those Uncorked Entertainment drop from the last time, I do believe. Monolith is 85 minutes long, 2016. It's a drama thriller. I love survival thrillers, so that's what this is, it looks like. A challenge against time to rescue a baby trapped by mistake inside the safest SUV ever conceived. The Monolith, lost in the middle of the desert, will Sandra be able to unlock the car and save her baby from certain death? We shall see. Next up, oh, I know that guy. Jason Momoa in this one. Adrian Holmes, Jeanne Goosen, and Adam Butcher in Debug. Debug. And it's not rated, 86 minutes from 2014. It's a horror sci-fi. It doesn't get, it gets mediocre reviews. I thought, Jason Momoa, what the heck? In this tale of deep space cyber horror, 6 young computer hackers are sent to work on a derelict space freighter as a part of work release program. They quickly fall prey to the ship's vengeful artificial intelligence a program that would kill to be human. They are helpless to defend themselves as it silently roots out their deepest desires to use against them in the most imaginative and horrific ways. It takes a very determined and brilliant hacker, Kada, to battle this malevolent entity and send it back to cyber hell. Murder makes it feel human. Whoa. Sounds interesting. Next up, another Jason Momoa. I just noticed him on there. See? There he is. Called Wolves. Wolves is R-rated, 90 minutes long, 2013, an action horror movie. It gets middle-of-the-road reviews, evidently. Popular high school student Caden Richards wakes from a horrific nightmare only to realize that he's living it. He is changing into something vicious, unpredictable, and wild. Forced to hit the road after the brutal murder of his parents, Caden tries to hunt down the truth of what he is. In the remote mountain town of Lupine Ridge, he discovers others like him, including the beautiful Angelina, a young woman caught between two ancient clans of wolves. And when he finally discovers the shocking truth behind his ancestry, Caden realizes there is only one way to save the woman he loves, a grisly fight to the death against forces more savage than he could ever have imagined. From Ketchup Entertainment. Okay. Sounds like fun. We'll see what old Jason Momoa is up to. Next, another Woody Allen flick, and Mia Farrow, another flick for my wife. Something called Zelig. Zelig is PG, 79 minutes, black and white, 1983. It's a comedy. It's a mockumentary, if you will. It gets really good reviews. It's about this dude. It's a human chameleon. Leonard Zelig, played by Allen, is a social, quick change artist whose neurotic insecurity forces him to mimic, mentally and physically, whomever he's with. Treated by Dr. Eudora Farrow, Zelig is slowly cured, and the process goes from sideshow freak to national celebrity, to Eudora's fiancé. But when misdeeds from Zelig's multiple personality past start to surface, larceny, bigamy, and an unauthorized appendectomy, the human chameleon is on the run again, and Eudora must search the world over to find and save the only man who's every man she's ever wanted. Literally. Sounds interesting. I may even watch this one. Let me know if you guys have seen that one. Next, a little comedy for my wife. Yes, I probably will not watch this one, but if you have, let me know down below if you liked it. Called 21 and Over. It's R-rated, 2013, 93 minutes. It's middle-of-the-road reviews. This is basically the same formula as The Hangover, from what I understand. I like The Hangover, so maybe I'll watch it. We'll see. Let's see. From the writers of The Hangover. There you go. Comes a reckless and raunchy comedy 21 years in the making. On the day before a critical interview, straight-A college student Jeff Chang gets a surprise visit from his two best buds to celebrate his 21st birthday. In no mood to party, Jeff finally agrees to a single drink, which quickly leads to an over-the-top, out-of-control night filled with epic beer pong, smoking hot co-eds, and one angry buffalo. Can Jeff's friends get their plastered pal cleaned up in time for his morning appointment? It's worth a shot. Sounds like every night here in downtown Vegas. Alright, next up, little Pierce Brosnan. Love me some Pierce Brosnan. And though, let's see, this is, Pierce Brosnan, the November Man. Of course, Brosnan was in GoldenEye, James Bond. I liked him. He was also in Tomorrow Never Dies and a couple others. So, I like James Brosnan. This is R-rated, 2014, 108 minutes. It's an action thriller. I do love my spy thrillers, and that's what this appears to be. Pierce Brosnan stars in this action-packed spy thriller set in the ruthless world of international espionage. Code-named the November Man, Peter Devereaux, played by Brosnan, is a lethal and highly trained ex-CIA agent who has been living in Switzerland. How many of these folks that are ex-agents get pulled out of retirement? There's a lot of movies like that. When Devereaux is lured out of retirement to safeguard a beautiful witness targeted for assassination, he's drawn into a deadly game of cat and mouse with his former friend and protege David Mason. With no one to trust, Peter must survive Mason's relentless assault and root out a suspected CIA mole who may pose the greatest threat of all. Can't wait. Go check that out. Next up, another MGM one with Nick Nolte, Gene Hackman, and Joanna Cassidy. Under Fire. Under Fire is R-rated, 1983. It's 128 minutes. It's a war drama. It gets really good reviews. This is about the journalist, American journalist that was in Nicaragua, and he was executed. Basically, he was, in this movie, from what I understand, they used still shots to talk about him. Bill Stewart was the guy's name. And but in true life, it was actually filmed, and those that I don't know, unlucky enough to actually see it, he was executed, forced to lay flat on the ground and shot in the back of the head. So I thought this would be an interesting watch. Russell Price, played by Nolte, is a gutsy photojournalist who gets caught between his love for reporter Claire Strider and his friendship with her husband, Alex Greiner. He's also caught in the horns of a dilemma when he's asked to take rides instead of just pictures in the war between the Nicaraguan government and the Sandinista rebels. But when he loses sight of his objectivity and becomes involved in the skirmish, Russell could lose both his battles and his life as he comes under fire from all sides. All right, there you go. Sounds interesting. Next one, another Mia Farrow one. Radio Days. Never heard of it, but it's MGM, one of those MGM ones. PG, 1987, 88 minutes. It's a comedy. It gets really good reviews. Gripped by wild radio stories about bloody wars and beautiful celebrities, 10-year-old Joe Needleman longs for adventure and dreams of the day he'll see enemy spies, German subs, or even his sexy grade school teacher wearing a smile and little else. But while Joe's life is filled with fantasies about radio voices, the real people behind the voices have fantasies of their own. And as stars rise, careers fall, and a nation hurtles toward the future, only one thing is absolutely certain: the days of radio may finally fade, but the magic of Joe's memories will always endure. Let me know if you've seen this one, you guys. What do you think? Sean Penn and Ed Harris, Gary Oldman in the Irish Mob movie. Yay! State of Grace. For some reason I haven't watched this one. I never even heard of it. It's R-rated, 1990, 134 minutes, action drama. Gets really good reviews. I'm a fan of Irish gangster movies. What can I say? Really great acting, evidently, in this by Sean and Ed. Let's see. New York City's Hell's Kitchen is a pressure cooker of pent-up anger, and it's about to explode. Sean Penn, Ed Harris deliver exceptional performances. Terry Noonan, who's played by Penn, returns to his old neighborhood with a score to settle. He's now an undercover cop dead set on taking down an Irish mob family headed by Frankie Flannery and his hot-headed brother Jackie. But when Noonan infiltrates the family, his old feelings for the Flannery sister further heighten the stakes as he enters a violent showdown with them during a crowded St. Patrick's Day parade. Let me know if you've seen it. What do you think? Next up, another MGMer, The Untold Story of the Wild West, called Posse. Posse is 111 minutes, 1993. It's a Western. It's a revenge flick. That's why I got it. I love my revenge flicks. You guys know that. Mario Van Peebles, Billy Zane, and Stephen Baldwin shake up the frontier in this fast-paced, star-studded big, brawny Western. I don't get many Westerns, but some I enjoy, so this one may be one of them. In 1892, a group of mostly black infantrymen, betrayed by their white commander, Colonel Graham, desert the Spanish-American War with Graham hot on their trail. Jesse Lee leads the men to his hometown, Freemanville, only to find it's also besieged by war, a racist war. Lee's attempts to bring justice and freedom to his people make for a brilliant Western that's short on words and long on killer entertainment. Okay. Well, we'll see. And my last pickup for this round of Dollar Tree is going to be a comedy. It's going to be with Robert Downey Jr. in it. And it's Charlie Bartlett. It's an MGMer. Charlie Bartlett. R-rated, 97 minutes from 2007. It's a comedy drama, and it gets really good reviews. I think I've seen this one. I just don't remember. It's been way too long. But I think I'm going to take a read here. Maybe the kids at Western Summit High have issues, and newcomer Charlie Bartlett is coming to their rescue with a briefcase full of prescription pills and a head full of pop psychology. This rebel with a cause brings hilarious help to the student body and unending grief to his neurotic principal, Mr. Gardner. Suddenly, Charlie is the hottest man on campus, and he's even caught the eye of Gardner's sultry daughter. An outrageous comic spin on today's Prozac generation. Charlie Bartlett has your prescription for laugh-out-loud insanity. I think I remember seeing this and liking it, so excited to kind of check it out again. I'm sure my wife would want to watch. So there you go, guys. There you go. I said in my last video that I would have my Hamilton book haul, but I didn't get it yesterday. Looks like it's coming in tomorrow, so as soon as I get my Hamilton book stuff, I'll make a video and have a giveaway with that. Also, stay tuned. I got the horror pack monthly DVDs and Blu-rays coming in also, hopefully tomorrow. So stay tuned. Hope you guys are staying safe. Hope you're having fun today. Hope you're having a great long weekend if that's what you did. Yeah, turned out pretty good for me here. So yeah, that's it from North Las Vegas. You guys keep smiling, keep having fun, until, keep that positive attitude too. Until next time, peace.